What is going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy Small Raider back at it again with another video and another pregame preview. And in today's video, I'm going to be previewing our Las Vegas Raiders versus the Denver Donkeys. But I do want to say, Happy New Year's, Raider Nation. Whew, 2020 has been a real crazy year, especially for me, this channel, you know, everything going around. But I just wanted to give you guys a huge thank you for everything that you guys have done for me and this channel and everything that I have been going through this last year in 2020 and looking forward to 2021. So again, Happy New Year's. I hope you guys are having a great start to the year, because I'm planning on having a great start to the year as well. Whew. Let's get started with your pregame preview.
And you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
So before I get started with your pregame preview, I'm gonna give you guys some quick Nation news that you can use. Jalen Richard has been placed on the COVID/reserve list. Once again, not sure if he tested positive or came into contact with someone that had it. If Richard doesn't get cleared by game day, look for Theo Riddick to step in as the running back 3 this Sunday. Clelin Ferrell has been placed on IR. Coming into this week's game, we were unsure if Ferrell was gonna play this week against the Broncos, but this confirms and officially rules out Clelin Ferrell for the rest of the season, and he will miss the season finale versus the Broncos. Ferrell finishes his sophomore season with 25 total tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 pass defense. Daryl Worley has been taken off of the COVID/reserve list. He will have a chance to play this week versus the Broncos after missing last week's game against the Dolphins. Another player that has been taken off is Eric Harris. He's eligible to return to the lineup this Sunday. But then again, why would we want to play a liability out there against the Broncos? Harris has been getting torched this season, allowing 13.5 yards per target and a passer rating of 124.1. That's all bad. And Jeff Heath is designated to return off IR. He was able to practice this week and has a chance to play in the season finale, but we don't know for certain if he's actually going to play and be cleared by game day. So let's talk about this game, Raider Nation. The Raiders and Broncos meet for the second time this season. We meet our AFC West rivals in the season finale of the 2020 season, which was a roller coaster of a season if you were to ask me. The 7-8 Raiders are going to be playing the 5-10 Denver Broncos. Now, we can either end up 7-9 or 8-8. It doesn't really matter in this game, because all we are playing for is draft position and individual stats going into this game. The playoffs are out of the picture, and we knew, you know, the last couple of weeks that our chances were getting real slim, which was really frustrating to see how bad this team collapsed in the past couple of days, the past couple of weeks, and these games that we could have won, we actually lost. There's a lot of games I look back at, you know, looking at how bad our defense was. There was 3 games that we could have won if our defense did their job, and we would be in a different spot right now, like 10 wins as of right now. But I'm not going to get all into that. I'm just going to be moving forward to this game against the Denver Broncos at the Mile High, and we'll see how we end off the season. It's crazy to me because, you know, we had our hopes riding real high when we were 6-3, and we knew that we had a whole another half of the season to go to make it to the playoffs, and the team really disappointed big time. We only won 1 game in the last 5 games. That is unacceptable, and a lot of these games fall on us. A lot of mistakes, a lot of bad play calling, the defense, all of that. You know, Paul Gunther getting fired, which should have happened much sooner, but I didn't see it even happening this season. But I was surprised they actually, you know, pulled the card after that Chargers game. Being a Raider fan is not for everybody, and it's really tough, especially for a team that misses the playoffs for the 17th time in the last 18 seasons, and the only time we actually made it to the playoffs was in 2016, and we already knew what happened there. Now this is going to be the second straight season that we meet the Broncos for the final game of the season with the same exact record, 7-8. And last year we lost off of a failed missed 2-point conversion, but at the end of the day we had a higher draft pick than the Broncos. But what did that really do? We went out and drafted Henry Ruggs, who we haven't really utilized that much this year, and hasn't really looked like that number 1 receiver we were hoping that he would be. Now I know that he does much more than that, you know, on the field. He really opens up and stretches out the field, but still, we should use him much more, especially for a first round pick. I hope going into next season we see more of Henry Ruggs, but that's just me. As of right now, we sit at the 16th overall pick in the draft, and if we lose, I believe we move up a couple of spots, maybe to the 12th, 13th pick, or even 14th pick, who knows. And if we win, we'll move back maybe, or stay at the same position. But there's a lot of factors that go into the draft that I'll get into during the offseason. But looking at this game, it's a game that I hope the Raiders can go out and win. I'm not gonna ever want the Raiders to go out and lose, because why would I? You know, if we lose, we lose. If we win, great. I know a game like this that doesn't really mean anything, but draft position is meaningless. But we got to end off the season with a bang. You know, we cannot go another 7-9 season. That just sucks for the team, and it's just deflating for the team to go out with a loss. I'd rather go out with a win than a loss. At least get some momentum going into the offseason, because this offseason is going to be a crazy offseason for this team, because there's going to be a lot of changes that'll have to be made. I don't know where, but we're going to need it in a lot of places. But with how disappointing the season has been so far, there's a lot of bright spots going into this last game. Darren Waller has eclipsed the 1,000 mark for the second straight season as a Raider, and he has broken out this season, and he's in the conversation as one of the best tight ends in the league right now, at least top 3, and he's not number 3, just to let you guys know. But he has about 2 more receptions to eclipse the 100 reception mark of the season, which would be a huge milestone for Darren Waller. He definitely deserves that Pro Bowl that he was honored this year, and man, it's great having him on this team, but it just sucks that we're not going to go, you know, a lot farther than we should have. And looking to Josh Jacobs, even though he has had a sophomore slump this year, he's about 25 yards away from getting another 1,000-yard season, and he's already at the double-digit mark for touchdowns. He has 10 so far this season, but I know that he's been dealing with a lot of injuries this year, and I hope that next year we can clean things up and have a better season from him. And I cannot blame him, because if you look at our team, and especially our offensive line that has been banged up so far this season, I give a lot of props to him running hard, even though I wanted him to run even harder. Pause. And if we look over to our quarterback, Derek Carr, he's having a solid season this year with about 3,700 yards throwing and 25 touchdowns with only 7 interceptions. And I'm gonna say here, Derek Carr is not the reason why we're not going to the playoffs. Yes, he's had a couple of mistakes this year, but he's not the reason why we're not going to the playoffs. And as much as I love my cousin Marcus Mariota, Derek Carr is a really solid quarterback, and he could be the guy to take us to the playoffs, but we need to build a team around him to help this team out. But who knows where the future is gonna be with Derek Carr? Only time will tell. And last but not least, shout out to Nelson Aguilar, who has stepped up. He's only like 100 and so yards away from a 1,000-yard season. He's already eclipsed his career for the most receptions in his whole career, about what, 47 or somewhere in that ballpark. But he's been a huge acquisition for this team, and he's not even getting paid a lot of money this year. So we got to go into this offseason with the #1 goal of re-signing Nelson Aguilar. I loved what I seen from him this season, and all the doubt that he brought over from Philadelphia was answered this past season, and I hope that he gets re-signed and, you know, balls out with this team for years to come. Now, one guy that I hope gets some love out there or get some packages on this last game, the season finale, is Marcus Mariota. We got to show some love out there for the Oos Marcus, because he's earned some type of playtime at least. And if we do want to move on from Marcus, if we want to trade him or whatnot, I don't know, then why not go and put him out there, show what he can do out on the field, and show that he's still a starting caliber quarterback for this team. So I'm gonna go into this game with my head held high, watch this game, whatever happens, and I'm just gonna be going into it like I did when I first came into the season, with my head held high. I just want our team to go out there, play some good football, and like Al Davis has always said, just win, baby.
I got the keys now.
So now for your quick 3 keys to the game. Key #1, dominate the run game. Now, the last time we played the Denver Broncos, we struggled in the air with the passing game. Darren Waller struggled that day, Derek Carr struggled that day, and even Nelson Aguilar struggled that day. But you know who came through? Our running backs came through, and the ground game came through. Josh Jacobs and Devontae Booker had over 100 yards, I believe so, and 2 touchdowns each to carry this team to victory the last time we played the Broncos. And if we want any chance of winning this game, it's going to be on the ground behind our star running back, Josh Jacobs and Devontae Booker. Key #2, apply pressure to Drew Lock. Now, Drew Lock has been having a shaky season so far, and I believe that he has more interceptions than actual touchdowns this season. And last week, he struggled against the Chargers with no touchdowns. So, applying pressure would definitely help out for this team. And I know how suspect our defense has been looking these past couple of weeks, or even this whole season, but last week they showed some type of glimpse of hope. So if they can apply some pressure, even without a Cleveland Farrell out there, then we'll be in good hands, especially getting the ball back to our offense. Now, our offense has got to do better with play calling, etc., because applying pressure causes turnovers, and turnovers gets the ball right back to our offense's hands to score the touchdowns and eventually win the game. And key number 3, this was a huge key, and we definitely needed it last week. Play to win the game. Don't play trying not to lose the game, because that's what we did last week. And I know, going back to that play where we could have at least scored the touchdown before giving the ball back to the Dolphins instead of kicking the field goal, and at the time it looked like the right call, but at the end of the day it didn't. So we got to play to win the game. We got to go out there and score on every drive that we can, no matter how many points we're up by. I don't care if we're up by 10 points. Don't kick field goals. Try your best to get into the end zone and keep putting your foot on the Broncos' neck, not allowing them to come back at all. We got to finish off this season strong and finish it off with a W, because we can't go into this offseason 7-9. I mean, technically we can, but why would we want to? So let's go out there, play to win the game, execute plays, the right plays, get the ball into your playmakers' hands, draw up some beautiful plays for this team, for our running backs, for our tight ends, for our wide receivers, even for our quarterback, whether it's Marcus Mariota or Derek Carr. Let's get this W and feel good going into the offseason. Even though we're not going into the playoffs, let's just win, baby. Get this W and go into the offseason 8-8. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today in this pregame preview. Is there anything that I missed? Anything you want to talk about? Any takeaways that you have going into this game? Or is there a game score prediction that you have? Drop it down in the comments below and let your boy know. If you guys are watching this video for the first time, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. The offseason is just around the corner, so you might want to be tuned in to this channel and with your boy throughout the whole offseason. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button. It does a lot for this channel, and I would definitely appreciate it a lot. With all that being said, until the next video, this is your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.